Hello there. The UK media and the establishment definitely do not want you to know about this. The EU farmers' protest actions are growing, and they know the true stakes. But while the EU farmers are protesting, who's growing and supplying their food? Just like any strike or other continent-wide event, this will affect our supply chains. In this case, our UK food supply chains. So where's the UK mainstream media on this? No, all we're being told is that new Brexit regulations that came into force at the beginning of the month will add to the cost of our food. And I bet that is where the blame for any food shortages in the UK that these EU farmer protests cause is laid. Yes, at the feet of Brexit. But don't you believe it, the blame lies with the globalist policies that the EU is forcing on its member states. But as the farmers say, no farmers, no food. So I ask again, who is producing the food for the EU and for the EU to export to the UK if they are currently blockading Paris and Brussels? All those tractors that should be employed on farms are right now blockading roads, ports and cities, as well as now the Eurocrat HQ in Brussels, and it's getting worse. Police estimated that around 1,000 tractors blocked traffic in Brussels on Thursday as EU leaders met for a summit and farmers continued to protest in several EU countries, reports Euractiv.com. And yesterday Dutch farmers were piling up tyre blockades outside supermarkets and pumping slurry into them. These farmers mean business. They know that the EU politicians, like just about all Western government politicians, are doing all they can to permanently damage agriculture. In fact, destroying farming across America, Europe and the EU just for a start. Bugs and factory-made gunky Frankenstein foods are the way ahead for the proles. The farmers know that wholesome food production is at risk, and they know the repercussions of that on them and on the people too. They are at the forefront of the battle for freedom. And it seems that even the Brussels police understand the gravity of the moment. They were handing out tea cakes to the protesters. But, if you notice, the police were on one side of the barbed wire fence and the farmers were on the other side. A point that might be missed by many. Let them eat cake? While inside the EU building, the political lords and masters were planning to deliberate on anything but agriculture. As if the farmers had not been protesting for weeks and making their concerns known for much longer than that. Although agriculture had not been on the agenda of the Leaders' Summit, the proximity and intensity of the spreading farmers' protests made it impossible for politicians in Brussels to ignore, reports The Guardian. And that's the whole point. Had the farmers stayed protesting in their rural areas, or even in Paris, these Eurocrats would have looked down their noses and ignored them as they tucked into their sumptuous Eurocrat subsidised food flown in from wherever to sate their large appetites. But the farmers turn up right in their faces, forcing armed police to throw up barbed wire barricades, and the Brussels Eurocrats are no longer assured of a plentiful lunch. And that's when the EU Commissar Ursula von der Leyen starts praising the farmers for their resilience and saying she was working hard with EU member state governments to address the farmers' challenges. And the EU Parliament President, Roberta Metsola, said, "To the farmers that are outside, we see you and we hear you." But the real issue is, are they actually listening? It's all very well seeing the anger and the smoke from burning tyres while listening to the tractor horns blaring, but are they listening to the farmers and planning to adjust their globalist-driven policies accordingly? No. The farmers know that the EU is one of the main sources of their problems, and also that they will talk now, and once the farmers' backs are turned, they will just carry on with their original plans, but call them something else. And as I suspected yesterday, the Irish farmers have joined the fray.
Hey folks, I'm Gavin Pepper and I'm here at David Rogers' farm in Ballybuckle, and here we are with a farm of 6 generations, PJ Jones. PJ, why are we out tonight?
Because we're fed out of this through European legislation.
And
we don't want to do this.
Absolutely.
See all them tractors around there, you think that they're the price of a house, which they are. They're all mortgaged as well. People think that when we put tractors out in the street, that's a rich farmer. It's not. They're all mortgaged like the house, and we have to get up in the morning and pay for them.
Absolutely.
6 generations, and I'm fed out of this. And enough is enough. We don't want to upset people.
No, 100%. But we rely on you for that.
Eat the product that we grow.
Absolutely.
You pay 3 times as much as we get for it, or 10 times as much as we get for it sometimes. So we
are getting nothing. Yous are being cut down to the bone because of all these companies coming in.
Our sons or daughters can't follow this. I have a daughter gone to Australia and another son going to work.
Absolutely.
Going to Australia because they can't make a living out of this.
Absolutely, PJ.
It's madness, complete madness. But we need people like you to make the case that's sympathetic.
100%. Fully support the farmers, the IFA. Brilliant. And who have we got here?
James and Brian.
How are you doing, James? James, why are we out here tonight?
Why are we out here tonight? We're here to mark solidarity with other farmers in Europe.
Absolutely.
Fighting the same cause. Like we're sick of EU bureaucracy and promises, false promises of
supports. They're not supporting us at all.
Supports, yeah. And we were supposed to be helped out in environmental schemes. And we're told to sign up for these schemes, and then midway through we're told, sorry, we can only take half of this.
Do you think Eamon Ryan is doing a good job as the Minister for Environment?
No, he's not doing a good job. No,
it's a joke, isn't he? The Greens are a disgrace. They don't care about the agriculture sector at all.
Only a few miles down the road here, and all they're thinking about is putting cycle lanes on the old Dublin-Belfast road.
Wasting money, wasting taxpayers' money and holding up traffic, causing congestion, while yous are paying a fortune to keep us fed. You know, we love the board beer quality, all the standards that you have to apply.
That they can't pass because of the road's got that narrow.
Unbelievable.
No need for 2 lanes both sides of the road off the old Dublin Belfast road.
Unbelievable. How are we doing? Who we got? We've an IFA member here.
Yeah.
We're standing solidarity with the farmers tonight. Fair play, just. Great to see us out tonight.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, 100%. There they are, folks. The hard working farmers with the agriculture sector is what keeps the economy going. We all rely on these people. It's as simple as that.
And people don't expect this to impact on their food supplies. I also have to ask what would happen if the farmers, supported by the truckers and the taxi drivers, started to interrupt EU food exports. And here's a Dutch farmer having a go at the political establishment.
We willen met die rode lijn laten zien dat het menens is en niet wat ons betreft per se. Maar in heel Europa zie je dat de boeren echt bewust kapot gemaakt worden. Er wordt voedselschaarste gecreëerd en dat is bewust. En u heeft mooie verhalen, maar dat doet daar niets vanaf. Op dit moment hebben die boeren, de veehouders in ieder geval, allemaal de portemonnee leeg en de put vol stroom. En ik heb u hele bedragen horen zeggen en hele verhalen, maar er is niets wat daar de komende tijd verandering in brengt. Dus oftewel, er wordt helemaal niets opgelost en ook niets gedaan voor deze mensen. En die problemen die worden gecreëerd, heel bewust. Dat zijn linkse hobby's. Ik heb hier net op de gang ook wat mensen gehoord die daar lyrisch over zijn. Linkse hobby's. Heeft niets met democratie te maken. De hele burgerbevolking, niemand zit op die linkse hobby's te wachten aan slechts een handjevol. Is gestoeld op leugens. De hele Europese en Nederlandse bevolking staat achter de boeren. Die willen gewoon gezond, betaalbaar voedsel. Niet aan de insecten, niet aan de plantjes. Gewoon normaal voedsel zoals we dat altijd gehad hebben. En om die boerensector te decimeren worden allerlei leugens en milieuproblemen bijgehaald, die worden gecreëerd. Dat slaat helemaal nergens op. En ook u staat hier en al die mensen die hier bij de provincie werken, die voeren dat uit. En iedereen verschilt zich achter Brussel. Maar wat is Brussel? Dat is gewoon een stad in België. Die stad die doet ons geen kwaad en er zijn mensen die daar aan de touwtjes trekken. En u en al die mensen voeren dat uit. En die zullen uiteindelijk verantwoordelijk gehouden worden. Wij gaan hier als boeren niet vaak heen met weet ik veel wat voor dingen. Wij zullen ook laten zien dat het ernst is, want waarschijnlijk is de enige manier om eruit te komen niet praatjes, maar gewoon terugvechten, keihard vechten. Wat in Brussel vandaag ook gebeurt, ik prijs die boeren, ik heb respect voor de moed om het op te nemen tegen de arrogantie van de bestuurders en de regent die over ons gaat. Ik heb er respect voor. En dat is misschien hoe we het moeten winnen. En als wij als boeren die slag niet winnen, dan zullen jullie uiteindelijk, en ik spreek wel aan niet persoonlijk, maar als bestuurder, dan zullen jullie zo ver gaan totdat jullie een burgeroorlog creëren in heel Europa.
With your arrogance, you will create a civil war in Europe. But at least one UK MP gets it. Here's Andrew Bridgen calling for a parliamentary debate on UK food supply.
Andrew Bridgen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I bring the House's attention to my entry in the register of members' interest that I am currently a major shareholder and in a few weeks' time will be the 100% shareholder of a significant food processing business in northwest Leicestershire. Food is not a luxury. It is essential for human existence. Food price inflation is running at 10%, which is putting pressure on household budgets. Across Europe, farmers are leading protests which are being barely reported in our media, and the phrase "no farmers, no food" is being translated and understood in many languages. So can we have an urgent debate in government time on UK farming, UK food production and UK food security before our own farmers start taking direct action?
Well, I thank the honourable gentleman for his question. He will know how to apply for a debate, and I'm sure on this particular topic it would be very well attended. He will know that many individuals on these benches would have to give a similar declaration of interest if they were to speak in such a debate. We absolutely understand the issues facing our farmers. We value what they do as a tremendous service to this nation, and we rely on them for our resilience. I'm sure if he were to apply, it would be a well-attended event.
Now, everything that affects EU farmers affects UK farmers. And there are already rumblings. So don't be surprised.